Well, hello there. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas. My name is DannyDealz. The show is presented by executive producer Hurricane Lopez. I am coming at you on March 23rd, 2023. It's about 2:38 p.m. Pacific Standard Time out here in the beautiful Los Angeles area. Rainy then sunny today. That puts it about 5:38 out in New York. I hope it is a great day, a great night wherever you might be. We are here once again to talk about TENX Therapeutics, ticker symbol TENX. It was a big red day. No way around it. Quite a bit of selling today. We had fairly light volume. This was the first day in a while that we're down just in the 2 million share range. We've been 4, 6, 8, and then, of course, some days 10, 30, 50 million shares. So, the algo was not working that hard today. A lot of air kind of came out of the stock with the news of the patent. Kind of a sell the news moment, but really there's not a lot of organic buying and selling going on here. An algo or computerized trading, whatever you want to call it, a hedge fund is clearly running the stock. That was probably more evident today than just about any day, but it's pretty obvious every single day. Um, a lot of you are asking, "Hey, DannyDealz, did you sell your 10x shares? Did you sell the little pop? Did you sell the did you sell the run up? Did you sell the hype?" I'm like, any questions? Ask my spokesperson. This is my PR department, and he does more than the 10x PR department or PR Flack or whomever they've hired over there. I think it was that dude who was on the Kroll show, Mulvaney. I guess he's bottom feeding. But anyway, no, I did not sell my shares. Still added today. I think I added, I don't know, 6,000 shares, something like that. Slow day for me. I like to just lock down shares in these horrible penny stocks that are locked in the grips of an algo and just take paper losses, take heavy paper losses. I really enjoy that. But a lot of people are saying, "Hey, DannyDealz, this stock is terrible. They don't make any revenues. They're not going to make any revenues for years. They're still burning cash. They're being shorted. They just had horrible dilutive offering. They can't get out of first gear. They're not starting their trials. There's nothing going on. This stock is absolute dog crap, DannyDealz. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a big loudmouth online. You don't understand the economics. You don't understand the science. You're simply not qualified to make these types of calls. And you're making horrible investments, but why are you giving bad advice to other people?" And to that, I say, sorry, that's not fair. No, to that I say, touche. But you have to understand penny stock mentality. This is not this is not Amazon, billion or $1 trillion market cap. These stocks, especially once they get down to like a 20 million market cap, a 10 million market cap, this is a 5 million market cap post offering. I mean, it basically been ground down to zero. Like, this is not a stock where, I said yesterday I'd like to hold 57 cents. That's a key level. And I believe that. And 57 cents came into play again on the chart today. Obviously, we broke well below that. But with this relatively low volume, it's very very easy for the hedge fund to drop the stock. So all I can tell you is when you're trading penny stocks, algos and hedge funds feed off reactionary day traders and retail investors that set stop losses. It makes no sense to set like a 10% stop loss on this stock. It can move 20% easily any day, and it's not that expensive to move it. And the shares, if you sell shares or buy shares to move the stock, whatever way, the hedge fund wants to move them, they can easily, sell those shares short, buy back those shares anytime they want. It's not expensive to do so because they already own long shares. And the market cap is so minuscule, and there's just not a lot of interest in the stock. There's obviously no institutional money coming into the stock. Insiders aren't buying the stock, somewhat disturbingly. But in any case, you're absolutely right. This has been a very bad investment if you were to sell it down here, but I think you'd be very foolish to do that. Penny stocks, that are getting beat down and shorted and ground down like this, they tend to go like one of three ways. If they're just garbage, they'll either go out of business fairly quickly. If the management is just flashy and taking a lot of money, they'll tend to go bankrupt pretty quickly. Everybody will sort of see what's going on, or some of these founder-led companies will languish for many years, or just stretch things out, burning little bits of money, keep cost savings, and the company just dies slowly. Or you have what I believe to be the scenario here, and let me go ahead and share my screen and see what we did today. And what's going on here is you have a hedge fund taking this all the way down, a short long hedge fund, to then accumulate a bunch of shares, flip, run it back up, and make one last big score, and then yes, ultimately dump it. But anytime you exit a position, you can call that a dump. It might not be super quick, but so this is a company, I believe, that falls into that third category where there will be a catalyst. And I think the hedge fund counts on trying to get news of that in advance. Of course, that would, not be necessarily proper, but there's a lot of gray areas in these tiny, micro, minuscule cap type of stocks because nobody's really watching that closely. And the hedge funds don't make that much money, and nobody important is buying this stock. No, like big activist investor, people that can hire a lot of lawyers. It's people like DannyDealz. It's your slow, dim-witted, workaday, blue-collar heroes that are just trying to hit a home run and just want to have a better life, and we want to take a shortcut to get there, and basically get rich quick on these miracle drugs that are going to cure hypertension and heart disease and everything else, heart failure. So, we hang our hat on stocks like this that are slowly bleeding and being bled and are just being used as a plaything by a kitten. Kitten being the Chart Long hedge fund here. But let's take a look where we are today. So basically, once that catalyst hits, that's either going to be a partnership or commencement of a phase 3 trial. I believe this market cap has to move up. Remember, this company does not have debt. So it's very difficult to bankrupt a company without debt. Like bad debt is what bankrupts companies. And that is really the only good thing management has done that I can see is not bury the company in debt, at least, not much. So we definitely have a little bit of cash. We can survive for months. And now it just takes a little bit of the pressure off. We have a little bit of runway. The problem is you gave away like 80% of the company for very little money, but there just wasn't a choice. I would love to see some insiders buying, but I just don't think this company is going out of business real soon. The reason I believe that is because their assets are just too valuable, and the work and the position they're in is just not something I think you're going to throw away. The IP, the phase 2 trials that the FDA has given them very positive structure on the phase 3s, allowing these single phase 3 trials with these oral formulations to go forward, and particularly the levo drug has a very large market potential, I believe, as an oral formulation. Anyway, let's take a look at what happened today. Again, 2.5 million shares traded hands. We were down 7 cents, went right through that 57 cents, what I thought was going to be support. Clearly I was wrong, often about this stock as I continue to buy it. But we're down another little bit after hours. So let's take a look at the chart. Came in, opened somewhere, I don't know, about 58 and a half. selling, heavy sell off at the beginning. And then 53 cents was a key level. It found support numerous times early in the day after this big sell off came down 53. And then this is where we came up and bounced off the 57 level. 57 right in the open was support here. We had support at 57. Obviously, that broke down in a big way, all the way down to 53. And then we had some accumulation, I think, back here. 57 then flipped, became resistance. We just broke just above that, but I still think really 57 was the key level here. It became resistance selling. Traded in this channel very briefly between 56 and 55 and a half. More selling, and then again the level of 53 and a half comes into play here. We're trading in a half-cent channel, and then over here we're trading again between 53 and 53 and a half. Some buying right here, right around 3 p.m. Couple of decent size buys there, 8,000 on that candle and 7,000 on that candle. So, and then we trade basically in this little sideways channel from 12:30 p.m. until almost the close, and then we see a little bit of a sell-off here at the end down to close at 0.526 pesos on the day. What can we glean from this? Does this scare me? Oh my God, it broke down below 57. It's going to test all-time lows. It's going to go down to 20 cents. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Absolutely nothing's going to happen. Again, it's just, you have to realize with penny stocks, like being down 50%, it doesn't mean anything. The algo can take it where the algo wants to take it. And you think, well, they're selling, they're naked short. Like, not necessarily. They can also just use psychology to just get people to dump their shares at the bottom. I mean, like I mentioned before, um, all you need is FOMO and FUD, or fear, and you can basically get people to buy and sell when you want. You buy on FOMO and you get people to panic sell based on either panic sell or just exploit obvious stop losses, which is happening, I think, quite a bit with this stock. I think inexperienced day traders are here. What few day traders there actually are. I think most of the Reddit army, as it were, is just the hedge funds paying people to post online, because whenever you have all these, people coming out of the woodwork and just posting all this stuff about how they're going to run the stock up to $3 and they're, the Reddit army's coming and da da da, Wall Street bets, whatever they're talking about, it's just a bunch of crap. Like, none of these people posting online, like, people like me who are posting online and posting YouTube videos, we're not your big players, we're not your big ballers, we're not your Les Grossmans, we're not your you know we're not your any of these guys who are your Warren Buffetts or your um anyway, your Gordon Geckos. We're not your market manipulators. All I'm trying to do is find companies that are grossly undervalued that have potential to recover. Now, anytime you see a stock this low in this much trouble with these few options, you think, well, is there a chance it can go bad and you lose all your money? Absolutely. But again, we're back to the penny stock mentality. You have to be prepared to lose all your money because you're trying to hit a home run here. If you start phase three, you get a partnership, you get a big cash injection, you get some extremely good news. This market cap is so very low that the hedge fund can also trap themselves. It Because there are people like me who are just locking up shares and expect good news at some point. I don't know if that good news will come when they're supposed to do a talk here with the earnings report in the next few days, or if that good news might come toward the end of the year, or if we reach full enrollment in a phase three trial in 6 months. I have no idea, but all I know is that I'm looking at these two drugs. I'm looking at the potential market. I'm looking at the likelihood of FDA approval. And I'm looking at, the free cash flows, that the profits. I mean, even if we only end up with 25% or 20% of the end profits on this drug, I mean, still to say the company at this point is worth less than $5 million with these two phase 3 ready drugs. One of them has the potential, I really feel, the Levo drug, to sell, billions of dollars over the next 15 years. They're both these drugs serve an unmet need. They're both oral formulations, which have many, many advantages I've talked about in previous videos. And we have a really good team here. I just think the previous management kind of backed us into a corner. They were really slow on their feet and got us into a lot of trouble as investors in this stock. And when these short long hedge funds smell blood and they think they can accumulate, or they think they can just make money driving the stock down and shorting it and churning it and scalping pennies off of these little channels, this is what you're going to get. And there's just no major good news. Be like, well, what about the patent? Isn't that great news? And yes, the patent is very important. This is, patent for the IV application, but they'll get another patent for the oral formulation as this moves forward. It's not Intellectual property is very important for partnerships, for any institutional investors. They want to know, these future profits we're investing in, paying for now, are secure. So these future free cash flow, this, if we're running a discounted cash flow model, however you're valuing the business, or evaluating, perhaps making an investment in the company or some type of partnership with a company, buying out whatever it might be, you want to know that, you're basically, your market position is secured. And having patent protection to 2040, or whenever we get the next patent for the oral formulation, maybe it's 2041, whatever it is. um, and that's what we have to see to get money coming back into the stock. But this is not huge news, because this is not getting us closer to revenue. This is not getting us closer to phase 3. This is just, this is a foundational building block that is important. But I didn't expect, the stock to go crazy on patent news, because we're just too far from market. And we already own the rights to the drug in this territory. But the nice thing about, if we get a patent on the oral formulation, we can make partnerships in other parts of the world. And probably, I mean, I'm not an expert on how these things work, as you can tell if you've watched any of my videos, believe me. But I think we could also, get the oral formulation, this particular oral formulation, out into the rest of the world market, and, you know, create additional revenues that way. And perhaps, with the imitinib, and again, I'm probably saying that right, TNX2, there is there is a lot of potential in this drug that has just been, I think, overlooked, because, people hear, oh, the phase 3 trial failed, and and I mostly talked about the Lesamendin, which I'm obviously mispronouncing, the TNX 101, 102, 103 formulations. But the TNX 201, this phase 3 trial was not what people want to make it out to be, who are the bears and the shorts. This phase 3 trial actually showed that this is the best, most effective treatment, and could be more durable effect on exercise tolerance than any other PAH treatment, alone or in combination, based on results of the patients who maintained on the full imitinib dose for the majority of the trial. Um, there are no cures, there are no treatments. The major problem was stomach discomfort, gastric distress. People dropped out of the trial because it just wasn't well tolerated. And basically the drug was releasing into the stomach, and it created a huge amount of stomach discomfort, and the patients dropped out, or a lot of them. And what's happened is, as far as the TNX 201, is Tenax has gone back and reformulated this drug, so it releases, I believe, in the intestine, and it's just a slightly different, I believe it's like the key is the coding on the drug, on the pill itself. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm definitely not a scientist, but I do try to understand what's going on in terms of the progression. And just most people, they say, oh, phase 3 trial failed, it's over, it's dead. That really was not the case here. There were very promising results, and the reformulation of the coating of the pill that should reduce, if not eliminate, all of that stomach discomfort should allow us to get through this single phase 3 and get this thing approved. And I really don't think it's going to be 7 6 7 years. I think this could go through a phase 3 trial in 3 or 4 years and get to market. And again, with probably investing only, I don't know, 30 to 50 million more dollars, you could actually get this drug to market. There's plenty of science on the safety, and I think there's potential on the efficacy. And we have two drugs here that, under sort of the normal world, the days of easy credit, easy money, we had days when Silicon Valley Bank was, and banks like that were, investing, and the people who had their money in banks like that were investing in startups, and not just tech companies, but also biotech companies, also drug companies. There's a whole subset of investors there. And, in days when money was flowing, I really feel like some money would have flown to 10x, and we wouldn't, as investors, been put in this position of being victimized and abused and basically pillaged by these crooked hedge funds. Of course, I'm not pillaged. I've taken paper losses. I'm down. I loaded heavily under 50 cents, but I'm still down, I think, 24% on my position, or, because I owned some shares way back that I paid, way, way more than now. I probably down a couple, probably down 90% on those shares, but it wasn't very many. So I bought more shares, several months back when the stock dropped down to 8 cents. And obviously I'm way underwater on those shares now. And I bought more shares down in the 40s. So, anyway, way underwater on my position. It has been a wild, downhill ride as a 10x investor for me, but I am more confident than ever. The price action today does not scare me at all because, again, this is just hedge funds doing what hedge fund does, just exploiting the tiny market cap and the lack of action on the stock today. That the hedge fund will behave differently. If a lot of people are coming in, you'll start to see tens of millions of shares churn and, try to kill momentum, kill the rally. There's been a couple times where if all the BS people online were actually really buying the stock who said they were, the stock would have doubled in that day. But instead, it goes up 12%, and then all those people, all those accounts disappear, and the stock goes right back down. So it is what it is, folks. It was another rough day, but again, I want to caution you, this is what investing in penny stocks is. You have to be prepared to lose 20, 30% in a day without a stop loss, because it could be the next day that the news hits and the stock starts to run. And these are just not the stop loss by its very nature is a conservative investment strategy. You're trying to reduce your losses, reduce your risk. And while, of course you can set stop losses on a penny stock, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, I just don't think it makes a lot of sense, because if you're going to invest in a public company with no revenues for years to come, and if currently a less than $5 million market cap that's clearly being beat all to hell by a little crooked hedgy, you've got to be prepared to lose that money. And, you know, they're going to push it down to try to get you out of the stock at a very low point so they can make money from you. And the way you end up, you know, I'm certainly not smart enough, or, you know, I don't have the dexterity to get in and out of a stock multiple times a day. I don't day trade. I'm not going to try to like swing trade in a week around earnings, around patents. I'm going to wait for real substantive news that shows the company is on the right track and these drugs can actually get to market. And whether that's, P3 enrollment, some kind of major news of a partnership or an investment, a large insider buy would be great to see, but hell, I'll take anything. Cracker Jack sweepstakes, give away, half of 10x with any purchase, or whatever brilliant idea management. Let's hear from management. I want to give them a chance because I do feel we have some really good people in this company. They've been working in very challenging conditions. So I don't want to pile on and beat them up. Obviously, I don't run a publicly held company, but I do run several businesses, and I do understand these financial pressures when your back's against the wall and people are counting on you, and you have shareholders and you have a board to report to. And, again, I understand there's a tremendous amount of pressure on management, and I think they probably are working feverishly behind the scenes to keep this company afloat and to eventually get these drugs to market. And hopefully, we'll hear news when the ER comes out in the next couple of days. And I don't know. That's about all I have for you today. Another rough day. Looks like just popped up. It's about 6 p.m. Eastern time here. Looks like the stock just popped up just a tiny bit after hours, but nothing to write home about. We're still at 53 cents. 53 cents, again, was a strong area of support all day today. So tested, and then ran along all day here. So you had buying pressure at 53, and that is kind of confirmed after hours. So let's see if we pop back up to 57 tomorrow. Let's see if we do a pump and dump. Let's see if the algo pushes the stock back down. I think a lot's going to depend on what the over. You notice this stock does tend to run a little bit contrarian, and I think that's by definition. That's by design. Excuse me. The hedge fund, is dumping when the market's going up, and that amplifies the psychology of panic selling because you're seeing from here, you're up almost 59, you're up at 59 cents, and then you're down here below 53 cents, all in the course of like an hour. Um, so you watch, what is that, 6 cents? So that's more than 10% of your money. So you watch in an hour, you're watching 12% or whatever it is of your investment disappear. And for someone who's not used to these swings, that's going to cause you to panic sell down here, retail panic selling, and then, this is the hedge fund buying, and then, this is how they make money. It's just, they, these algorithms and the hedge funds, they don't have emotions. They're not human beings. They are sick freaks. I know these people. Um, they live around me. They are absolutely soulless, bastards, and they would take your last dime if you're dying and homeless, and they will wring that dime out of you, and they just don't care because their job is to skin retail and take your money and leave you and roll you and beat the hell out of you and turn your pockets inside out and leave you in a heap in the fetal position in an alley. And that's what they're doing to DannyDealz account here lately. But again, I'm not worried. Accumulated quite a few shares today in the 53s. And if they drive the stock back down below 50, I'm going to buy heavily again because I just don't care. I'm sick like that. Um, Jail doesn't bother me. And, by the time I get out, make bail, I come hit you over the head again because I'm just stupid like that. But maybe 10x will go up tomorrow. Probably not. I appreciate you watching. Sorry this went on so long. I don't know if I had a point here, but really, as a 10x investor, I just believe this stock price is completely, the market cap is just completely disconnected from the value of the assets. And that's by design. I think the hedge fund is going to flip, and I think they're going to run the stock price way back up. And if you dump down here near 50 cents, I think you're a fool. Remember, this is not financial advice. Don't buy penny stocks. Buy an index fund. Buy art. Even buy a boat. Buy a boat would probably be a better investment than 10x. Buy baseball cards. I don't know. Buy whatever you want. Buy a classic car. Take a vacation. Don't put your money in 10x. It's a fool's errand, and you're talking to the number one fool, DannyDealz. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more and crush your head between our fingers. The show is presented by Hurricane Lopez, and I hope you have a great day. It is March 23rd, 2023. This is your 10x Therapeutics update, ticker symbol TENX. This is DannyDealz. Hope you have a great night. We will talk with you tomorrow.